It is now summer in northern Norway, and today I am taking you on a trip to Lofoten, and we are going to a quiet little corner of the islands where there are a few people but many rocks. I was in the same area last year as well, and I went with my good friend Kenneth, who is a very seasoned and experienced climber. So I have a lot to learn from him, since last summer was my first as an outdoor climber. This year we are back in Lofoten, and my new van Pegasus is coming along on this first climbing adventure of the summer, and you're coming with us. I am on a trip. This will be the first sort of real trip with Pegasus. We're on our way to Lofoten, and I didn't get a ticket for the ferry, but I'm first in line for the non-reserved ones. So I'll probably get there. It's like 1:30 at night. The ferry is at 6, so I have a few hours, and I'll probably go in the back and get a little bit of sleep.
Er du klar for å klatre?
Ja. Det blir bra.
As I enter my second summer with rock climbing, it is with both excitement and with fear. I have come to see the actual act of climbing as one of my great teachers. And it is not there to teach me about climbing, but rather to give me some important lessons on life. Climbing teaches me about presence. We live in a world where distraction is constant, and therefore climbing almost feels like a pause.
Er det bra klatring?
Ja, nydelig klatring. Veldig fin klatring i dag. Ja, det var det.
Er det vanskelig klatring?
Nei, vanskelig er det jo ikke.
Even climbing at my grade, I cannot have my thoughts elsewhere. I am fully there and I am fully present. And there is nothing else than me and the rock and the breath. And that's not just my own breath, but also the breathing that happens around me. The suns, the shadows, the frictions, the temperatures, if there's a raindrop.
And there is Pegasus with the beautiful view.
It almost feels like a meditation with nature around me. And that meditation can be with a very pounding heart and a nervous system that's scared and in alarm mode. But still, it's as if the rest of the world is shut out for a while, and nothing else matters than the rock and the foot and handholds that I can find. And that in itself is a privileged state to be in.
Close to violet on a Sunday, nearly made it into bloom. But I know, oh, the ordinary, Monday turning back to blue.
And then there is trust. One thing is to trust my own feet and my fingers and my strength, my skills, my judgment. And that is something I struggle with, and it's a long and bouncy learning process. But there is also my climbing partner, my belayer, and the lifeline between us, which is the rope. It's a very visual and physical object that's attached between us, and its purpose is life, like an umbilical cord. And to me, it's a symbol on trust. And it's also a symbol on dependency.
Usch, så bra!
And that rope has become a metaphor for me. No matter how dark a life situation can look like, there's a belay out there to catch me if I fall. Climbing is a reminder of that, so I remember if I need it. And with that, climbing tells me that I have very little to be afraid of.
Long for what's to come. Keep forgetting how we made.
Things can go wrong in climbing, as it can in life in general. But what we tend to worry about or be afraid of can grow into something enormous in our heads. And that's often what it is. Only something enormous inside our own heads. But if we take a wrong turn, there will be a rope, as invisible as it might seem in everyday life, and there will be someone at the end of it who will ease the fall. Therefore, to me, climbing adds a healthy perspective to fear, especially perceived fear. And if I can handle climbing, there is really little I cannot handle, and the everyday worries and insecurities that cease to exist when climbing, in that present here and now state, when they return afterwards, they seem to be with less gravity. And I have a feeling that as I progress in climbing, that mindset will stick around, and perhaps even with more and more weight to it. And that I welcome. Thank you for joining me and my friend Kenneth on this little adventure to Lofoten. I hope I'll see you again. Bye.